Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at a Husqvarna 55 chainsaw with a customer complaint that the starter mechanism isn't working properly. Well, what we found here is that one of the starter pawls is broken. That one right there broke off where it was bent over. If you notice, this is the riveted style pawl on that flywheel. I have a used flywheel with the bolt-in style pawls, and we're just going to put that on in place. You know, save a little bit of time and labor, and I think a better deal all around. I like the screw-in style ones better. But before we do any of that, I've talked about this in the past. We're going to take a look inside the cylinder and we're just going to make sure that this is a worthwhile repair, because you know, I've been burned before. I go through the whole repair and then during a test run you got nothing because of other issues like a scored cylinder. So what we're going to do is loosen the 13mm nut that's on the end of the crankshaft holding the flywheel on, and we're just going to get it flush with the end of the crank. Now there's going to be guys arguing that this is not the right way to remove a flywheel, but it works. I've done a lot of them, not had any problem. If you notice, I've got that crowfoot pry bar underneath a beefy area of the flywheel, not just any old spot on there. We're going to put a little bit of pressure on it and just give the nut a wrap, trying to get it square. The Q-tip, you know, that was holding the flywheel, or the pawl I should say, back out of the way so I didn't accidentally smack it with the hammer. And that method has worked quite well for me, actually. I've found a lot of uses for Q-tips, and I keep a big box in a toolbox. And once in a while somebody even borrows one to clean their ears, so imagine that. So I got a donor saw, a 51, and it's got the flywheel in it that I want. And I have to remove this one as well, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to loosen up the 13mm nut, get it flush with the end of the crankshaft. Then we're going to grab a couple of Q-tips and pin back the pawls. We'll get our pry bar in place. Now, you know, one of the keys to doing this is using a hammer with a dissimilar metal than the one you're hitting. And I don't know if that sends a different kind of shock through it or what it does, but it seems to make a difference. So there we go. We've harvested our replacement flywheel. And I'm just going to take a quick look at them, and even though the flywheel should be interchangeable, you know, it'd be silly not to look and make sure that the keyway and the magnets aren't the same. So I cleaned it up a little bit, made it look pretty, and we'll throw our washer on there and our 13mm nut. You know, Loctite here, it's kind of optional. And the correct torque on this, I believe, is 7 light ugga-duggas. And it's not shown here in the video, but I did check it with a torque wrench. I don't remember what the number was, but it was good. Now we got our handy dandy Husqvarna supplied air gap tool, and we're just going to double check and make sure that The air gap on this is set where it should be, 0.5 millimeter, or no, what is it, 0.3? What the hell? I'm gonna have to edit this part out. I don't remember. Our air conductor. I've talked about this in the past in other videos. You know, this just helps guide air from the fins on the flywheel over towards the cylinder to get air moving over the cylinder. Plastic air shroud. Well, this one's got a broken little tab there that holds the wire from dropping down into the flywheel and getting all caught up in there. So we're going to have to use the one from the donor saw. Well, once you know, they're different. You know, if this thing doesn't sit down in there nice and flush the way it's supposed to be, you can't move forward. You can't bolt the starter down. And in this case, it seems to be hitting the ignition module, and if I force it around the ignition module, it gets jammed between there and the flywheel, kind of taking up the air gap. So I pull it out and take a look, and sure enough, closer inspection shows that the original one had that notch right there cut out of it, and mine doesn't. But we got a pretty complete toolbox, and we've got the tool just for that. The SnapOn right angle grinder works wonders for these little projects. Now that's not to say that this tool doesn't work in the welding booth as well, and it does. It's a great tool for deburring and taking the edge off or enlarging a hole. What it doesn't do is turn like a big 2-inch diameter wire brush or something like that. That'll just overwhelm it and it'll shut down. But in these type of situations, it's just great. So it kind of looks like I wasn't aggressive enough, and I'm going to have to take some more material out of there, which is fine by me because using this tool is a joy, actually, believe it or not. And once you see how finicky I get here, you know, you're always looking for something extra to grind. Project can't be over yet. There's a little spot, I'll get that. No, it looks good. No, we'll get this spot over here too. Yeah, there we go. Am I done? Yeah, I guess I'm done. Well, let's see if we got anywhere with this. Both the pieces look pretty close. It should just lay right in there now. Yep, we got some clearance there, so we should be good to go. We'll slap our starter on there, give it a test run, make sure that the starter mechanism works the way it should, make sure the thing runs. And that's really all I'm going to have for you on this one. Thanks for watching. Later. Oh, another Another wonderful tool right there. Right angle bit driver with a clutch. Can't say enough good things about it. I guess we need to put the cover back on yet too. Here, I thought we were done with this video. I guess not. Alright. Thanks for watching. Later.